my channel, and if you're new around here, this will be either a pleasant or not pleasant surprise. I'm not sure. Hug, not... Just kidding, hug! So today I'm taking 20 really common myths and debunking them and letting you know what's up. I got you. When I found this out, some of them I was just like, no.
That can't be. It's so logical.
A little part of me still refuses to believe some of these. And I'd love for you guys to do me a huge favor and let me know how many of these you believed down below. Like, what was your score? I'm gonna be telling you guys which ones I believed during the video. Hold up, if you guys aren't part of the fam yet here already, I encourage you guys to join. It's so simple, just click the subscribe button. And oh my gosh guys, if we get this video to 150,000 likes, that would be amazing. I know you guys can do it because you're awesome. Appreciate every single like that you guys give me. Thank you guys so much. So without further ado, let's get straight to the video. Let's go. So when I was growing up, I was told that shaving made my hair grow back thicker. And I used to be so scared to shave my hair because I was worried I was going to turn into Chewbacca the next day. Thankfully, this is not true. Some people still believe this myth. What shaving actually does is cut out the thinnest part of the hair in the tapered point, and it just grows back more uneven with a choppy edge, and that's why it seems thicker when you touch it. The actual hair itself isn't thicker at all. So if you've been wanting to shave your upper lip, your legs, your arm hair, or any other hair in your body, go right ahead. It ain't gonna grow back thicker. Some people believe that you can never wake up a sleepwalker because it can harm them. This is completely not true. Yes, it can be totally disorientating for them to be woken up out of their sleepwalk, but it's actually more dangerous for the person that wakes them up. Because they're more likely to get a slap in the face from the horror of them opening their eyes. In fact, sometimes it can actually be dangerous to not wake up the sleepwalker, especially if you notice that they're going to be doing something harmful. So the myth is that we use only 10% of our brains, and people that believe this myth think that if we can figure out a way to use more of our brains, we can be like super intelligent or develop superpowers. I really wish this myth was true because I really wanted superpowers, especially the power of telekinesis. Science has shown that we pretty much use all of our brains. Some parts might be less active than others, but there is no part that's doing absolutely nothing at any one time. Has your teacher ever told you how bad Coke is for you? And use an example where if you leave a tooth in a glass of Coke overnight, the tooth will completely disintegrate. Hands up if you have. Again, this is not true. If you leave a tooth overnight, it'll still be there in the morning. Give out money from the tooth fairy. I mean, there are plenty of other good reasons to stay away from soft drinks, but this isn't one of them. I'm sure a lot of you guys, including me, have been told not to sit too close to the TV or monitor, or else it'll damage our eyes and it'll lead to short-sightedness, myopia, and glasses. I got glasses anyways, and today I found out that it is a myth. Ophthalmologist has agreed this practice does cause temporary strain to the eyes, however it usually doesn't cause any long-term problems. If you're short-sighted, chances are you are always going to be short-sighted, whether you watch TV too closely or not. I know you got all dressed up for the club. I've heard the a myth that cats have always landed on their feet. I think for the most part it's true because they're so agile that they can rotate their body mid-air and land on their feet. I own 2 super cute kitties and I know for a fact that they're clumsier than what the stories make you believe. I've literally seen them slip and fall onto their sides when they're not paying attention, but they always walk away like, what? I meant to do that. Pretty much in every single cartoon growing up, bulls get angry at red. That's why they charge at the matadors who wave around the red capes, right? Wrong! In fact, bulls can't even see the color red. They're actually colorblind to red. The truth is, they'll charge at anything that's moving around in front of them, regardless of the color. So if you're ever trapped with an angry bull, try making small movements and not run around like a crazy person, because I think that's the #1 way to get them to chase you. I've been told that I have a memory of a goldfish, which is literally like, what, 3 seconds? So I've been told I have a memory of a goldfish, which is literally like, what, 3 seconds? But this is a myth and is actually untrue. Studies have shown that goldfish can remember things for up to 5 months, which I think is a better memory than I have. Goldfish. I've always been too scared to crack my joints. In fact, I've avoided it because I think it causes arthritis. But apparently there isn't a single shred of truth to it. It's mainly just to scare you from doing it. So crack away. No, I'm kidding. Oh wow, that just cracked. But I'm not gonna get arthritis. Yay! I'm sure you guys have all heard that sugar makes you hyperactive, but guess what? This is not true. Sometimes it really does seem true because I swear that I get really energetic after I have some sugar. Sugar has actually been shown to have nothing to do with hyperactivity. The effect we see is actually a placebo caused by adults and other kids around us. That doesn't mean you should go around eating lots of sugar before bed or anything, because sugar has a number of negative health effects that are definitely not myths. I've always believed that Einstein was super smart, but apparently something's going around saying that he was actually a really bad student. I knew he didn't brush his teeth, but the truth is he was always brilliant at school. He would always score 1 out of 6, 1 being the top grade. But one term he scored a 6, which is usually a fail, but it was actually because the school randomly reversed their grading system, so 6 was actually the top grade, so he has always been a class A student. According to a myth, a penny dropped from the Empire State Building can kill a person below or crack the concrete. In reality, a penny is not heavy enough to gather enough speed whilst dropping off the Empire State Building because it only weighs 2.5 grams. It will actually spin as it falls, and the wind resistance will actually slow it down too much for it to kill anyone or crack the concrete. At most, if it hits you, it'll just kind of hurt a bit, but that doesn't apply to heavier objects like screws or bolts. Either way, it's still not a good idea to be throwing things off tall buildings because you're still littering. Edison was often said to have invented the light bulb, but actually he was the first person to patent it and make it a commercially viable product. But actually the first person to make a working light bulb was a guy named Humphrey Davy in 1806, which is 73 years before Thomas Edison did it. I know it breaks your heart, moved to the city in a broke down car. A lot of people believe that dark roast coffee has more caffeine than a medium or light roast coffee. I can understand how this one came about because the dark roast has stronger flavors and bitterness that could lead to people believing that it has more caffeine. But the intense flavor is actually due to the longer roasting time, not the amount of caffeine that's in the coffee. In fact, they actually have a very similar level of caffeine, so you should just pick one that suits your taste. I always think that sit-down restaurants are much healthier than fast food restaurants. This is a myth many restaurants would love for you guys to believe. The studies have shown that people that sit down at restaurants tend to consume more calories, sodium, and just as much fat as people that take food out on the go. The truth is you should limit eating out in general, but if you do choose to do it, you should do your homework about what you're eating. A lot of fast food chains now have a lot of nutritional information out in the open and have lots of healthier and vegetarian options as well, so it may not actually be a bad idea if you choose wisely. Have you guys ever been told that you should wait half an hour after eating before you can go swimming? It was quite a common belief in the past, and some people still believe it today. People were worried that eating diverted blood from your muscles to your stomach so that your arms and legs would cramp up, and that would lead to you drowning. But that's a total myth, and there's never been a single documented case of this ever happening. Also, you may feel a little bit sleepy after you eat, which happens to me all the time. I call this food coma, but that shouldn't stop you from swimming, so go ahead and swim away if you'd like.
You need her, and I'll never be.
In my head, more homework equals better grades, but this is actually not true. It is definitely more about quality than the quantity of homework. Studies have found that homework does benefit you to some degree, but after a certain tipping point, it actually does the opposite. Because at that point, the homework actually makes you feel more stressed, and it gives you a negative association with learning and studying, which in the long term does actually worse for you. Haven't you found that when you're forced to do something, you simply just don't like it and you try and procrastinate, but when you do something for yourself, you feel super motivated? This is kind of like the same idea. The most important thing to remember that is less about the homework and more about your love of learning and growing. Some people believe that you need less sleep as you grow older. I don't know why I used to think this, but a lot of people say this as a matter of fact. However, research has shown that no matter how old you are, you still need the same amount of sleep. And the reason why you may sleep less as you get older is because you tend to nap more during the day and sleep less at night. So now all of us lazy corns have an excuse to sleep more. But of course, don't oversleep because that is super bad for you as well. So get the right amount of sleep for your body, which is usually around 7 to 8 hours a night. And that's different for everybody. Whenever I swallow gum, I freak out, and some people say that it will stay inside of you for 7 years, and that don't sound cool to me. So I definitely don't recommend you guys to go and swallow your gum, but if you accidentally do, don't worry, it's not going to stay inside you for 7 years. That is not true. What is true is that you can't fully digest the gum, but don't worry, within a couple of days, you should be able to poop it out along with the rest of the things you ate. I'm sorry if this ruins your appetite. Just letting you guys know. How many of you guys have been told that if you go outside without a jacket and it's super chilly that you're gonna catch a cold? I've been told this like pretty much all the time, like by my parents every single time I go out. This is just kind of those old wives' tales being passed on from generation to generation, but no one really kind of sits down and thinks about why that is. And medically speaking, you actually can't catch a cold from being cold or wet. Colds come from viruses that are airborne and are passed through sneezing or touching or being in contact with someone that already has a cold virus. It just happens to be a coincidence that these occur more often in the colder seasons. However, I still recommend you guys wear a little bit more when it's cold out and not go out in like singlets and shorts, because for me, it's just really uncomfortable. Oh my gosh guys, how crazy were these myths? Like, I still believe some of them, even though I found out it wasn't true. If you guys want to chill with me during the week, don't forget to hang out with me on my social medias, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, my hashtag WingyCorns, which I like to stalk you guys with, and check out what you guys are up to. It's come to that time where we gotta go, so I'm gonna miss you guys so much, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye! Love you!